Linnea Quigley.
Linnea Quigley.
The Linnea Quigley.
Linnea Quigley.
Linnea Quigley.
I'm Linnea Quigley.
She's been dubbed Queen of the B movies and the Queen of Scream.
Being the Queen of Scream isn't as easy as it looks.
Linnea Quigley needs no introduction. She's one of the best and most impactful cult scream queens of the 80s and early 90s. While she may not have the big name, mainstream mass appeal as OG scream queens like Jamie Lee Curtis, Linda Blair, or even new and upcomer Jenna Ortega, Quigley has more than made a name for herself in the horror world. If you're a fan of 80s horror flicks, then I guarantee you've seen a Linnea Quigley movie. She was basically in everything. She's been in over 170 movies, and most of them are horror. She's not afraid to get eaten alive by zombies, make a workout video with the undead, or wield two chainsaws while being topless. From low-budget movies to even lower budget movies, Linnea Quigley tends to steal the show in whatever she's in. People will check out bottom of the barrel movies just because she's in them. And who can blame them? She's great, lovely, beautiful, and a presence that attracts the spotlight. You can put her name at the top of a movie poster and people will buy or rent the film, even if the movie's bad. Having her name associated with the picture will do wonders for the sales. Her name alone is a moneymaker, so who in their right mind would spend the money to have her in your movie and never release it? Enter the lost Linnea Quigley horror film, Heartland of Darkness, also known as Fallen Angels or Blood Church. Shot in 1989, Heartland of Darkness was never released. There was a work print of the film, but they wanted a bit more funding to finish off some of the special effects and money to distribute the movie. Funding was never really secured though, and for years, Heartland of Darkness sat in the darkness. Fans knew of Linnea Quigley's involvement with it as she had a few television spots promoting the film. Fans asked the director, bombarded him with questions like, where is the Linnea Quigley lost movie? For years and years and years, it sat. Then, in 2022, Visual Vengeance, a still relatively new boutique Blu-ray distribution company, finally released the film. It's crazy, but I'm holding Linnea Quigley's long-lost horror film in my hands! Let's find out if Heartland of Darkness was worth all this wait. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. To know the story of Heartland of Darkness, we need to start with writer and director Eric Swelstad. Eric was starting his second year of graduate school at The Ohio State University. A classmate who was a year above him made a film for school called Beyond Dream's Door, and inspired by this, Eric also wanted to make a film for his final project. Eric and some of his fellow classmates got together and embarked on an epic journey. They thought the film could be completed in a semester, but they were sorely mistaken as filming continued throughout the year. By mostly filming on weekends, their ambitious project started forming. Inspired by the satanic panic of the late 80s, Fallen Angels or Heartland of Darkness was born. Using many locations on a no-budget film would be rather hard to do, but they did it by getting most of their locations for next to nothing. Originally, they thought the picture could be made with just $50,000 to $100,000, but of course, as filming went on, they got more and more ambitious. They always wanted a recognizable name in the film, and luckily, they were able to secure Linnea Quigley to take part in it. Eric had to write scenes in for Linnea, so if her inclusion and role feel unimportant to the plot, it's basically because it was. So what's the movie about? Well, a big city news writer and his daughter move to a small town and decide to open up a local newspaper. People in the town are being brutally murdered, and the reporter finds himself in the midst of a mystery. A local pastor has a stranglehold on the town, and it turns out his wholesome church may have some dark roots. Can the reporter stop the priest before his daughter and love interest succumb to the darkness? Okay, so the plot isn't anything stellar, but it's told well enough for a movie of this budget. It's a typical "the town isn't what it seems" kind of movie, but there are some really enjoyable moments. The evil Reverend Donovan is a great character brought to life well by actor Nick Baltzar, who was in Beyond Dream's Door. Dino Tripodis does an admirable job as the lead as well. I'd like to say Linnea Quigley steals the show, and her presence definitely does elevate the feature, but her acting is unfortunately a bit subpar in this one. She does have little to work with, and you can tell that her character was written in well after filming already started. My favorite part is when Linnea is at the high school. She's supposed to be the teacher and talks to the reporter's daughter, who's in high school. They look the same age, and you really have to use your imagination. But I love it!
Miss Insane. God, you scared me.
You're one of our brightest students. Tell me, what do you think of the topics we've covered in class since you've moved here?
Linnea was very sick for much of the shoot, but was super professional and didn't let it affect her. According to the cast and crew, she was terrific to be around, and they all loved working with her. On the Heartland of Darkness Blu-ray, you will be overwhelmed with all the special features. First of all, after 30 plus years, we get to finally see the finished Linnea Quigley film, but we also have a 40-minute making of documentary, plenty of behind the scenes and deleted scenes, as well as a plethora of archival Linnea Quigley interviews for her time working on this movie. It's really great stuff. I'm a big fan of visual vengeance, and I am a bigger fan of Linnea Quigley, so for me, Heartland of Darkness was a great release. Sure, the movie itself isn't phenomenal, but if you consider the story behind the project, it's really an intriguing watch, especially if you pair it with the special features on this one. So, that's all I have for tonight, so thank you so much for watching, and stay spooky, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I do and want to support the channel, please consider subscribing or by buying me a coffee in the description below. Any bit helps. Thank you, and take care.